Hi guys, this is Karan here, and in today's video we'll be talking about an IEM that's created a buzz in the audiophile community, especially in the sub 10,000 rupees segment. The IEM that I'm going to be discussing today is Simgot's all new EA500. So in this video we'll talk about what you get in the box, the build quality, the sound quality, and my take. So let's get this video started. Alright, so let's start the video by looking at what we get in the box and what is the unboxing experience like. So if you look at the box, it's a fairly standard black box with not much revealing. The backside you'll see the frequency response for both the tuning filters, which we'll talk about later on. And as soon as you open the box, you'll be greeted with the nice well-built metallic shells of the EA500. You'll also get 3 pairs of silicone ear tips in the box. You'll get this nice hard case to store your IEMs and even the ear tips, and you'll get the nice high quality silver plated cable. Now the unboxing experience is not something special, but you get everything that you would want to get started with this IEM. Moving on, let's talk a little bit about the build quality of the Simgot EA500. Now these IEMs are absolutely built like a tank. The shells are made of metal and they have this nice mirror finish. They've got some weight to it, so when you hold them it kind of feels really sturdy. Now even though they're a bit on the weightier side, while wearing you will not find any discomfort or any hot spots as such. I've been wearing and listening to music on these for long hours and I've not had any complaints as such. The cables supplied are also pretty good. The ear hooks have a nice tension to them and they add to the support for when you're wearing the earphones, and overall I think these are exceptionally built and great for the money that you pay. Alright, so let's talk about the most important aspect, and that is how do the EA500 sound. Now before we get into the nitty-gritties and the details of how they sound, I just wanted to mention that within the box you get these 2 tuning filters. One is a red tuning filter which would be installed by default when you open the box, and you get an additional black filter. Now what these filters are essentially doing, or what Simgot claims, is they'll change the tonality of the earphones a little bit. Now with that red tuning filter you get a little bit more closer to the Harman tuning curve, with a little bit of a bass boost and a little bit of presence in the top end, and with the black filter you will get a little bit more clarity on the top end. Now in my usage I personally did not find a lot of difference. Of course that black filter added a little bit more clarity and crispness to the top end, but it's very minute and something you'll not really realize unless you're really paying attention to listening to those specific regions. Alright, so now having cleared that, let's talk about the audio presentation. How do these sound in all of the frequency ranges, the bass, the mids, and the treble? So if I were to start talking about the EA500 and the bass presentation that it has, I think the one word that describes it is authoritative and really punchy. So it's got a perfect balance between the sub bass presentation and that mid bass thump. You're not gonna really miss either of the mid bass or the sub bass presentation, regardless of the genre that you throw at it. If you're playing some really deep electronic bass lines, they're presented well, and even if you're playing something which is like on the dubstep side of things, the sub bass really comes through. Like as I mentioned, the bass is really authoritative. It's really nice, round and punchy. I have no complaints out here. Talking about the mid-range, the one thing that I really found to be a little bit of a problem area was the lower mids. Particularly where the male vocals sit. I think there's, because of that tuning, there is a dip in that particular region, and because of that sometimes some of the vocals, some of the instruments sound a little bit, you know, behind the actual presentation. You'll find that in the spatial positioning, they're just a little bit off. So yeah, they could have done a little bit of a better job in the lower mid-range tuning, but I think the Simgot EA500 really shines in that upper mid-range tuning. It's got a nice little curve leading to that 3K 4K range, and because of that, all your female vocals, your violins, and even your guitar leads, they kind of liven up. There's a little bit of an energy to them, and it really adds to the listening experience. Now, talking about and moving on to the treble region, I think they absolutely sound fantastic. There is a shine, there's a crispness, and there is clarity in the top end. I personally really enjoyed the top end presentation, and all of the instruments and the elements that sit in the top end are presented really accurately. I personally love listening to this IEM, and even though it has a sort of a V-shaped frequency response, when you really listen to these, you'll understand and you'll soon realize that it's got a highly balanced sort of a presentation that's really different from anything in this price range. Alright, so having discussed how these IEMs sound, what is my take and my conclusion for the EA500s? I personally feel these are a breath of fresh air in this segment. Now, if you see this under 10,000 rupee price segment, you'll get the Truthier Hexa, which is a highly analytical and neutral sounding IEM. Now, this takes a little bit of a different approach. It gives you that warmth in the low end, it gives you that clarity in the top end, and that just makes for the listening experience to be really engaging and fun. And regardless of whatever sort of music you throw at it, be it pop, be it hip hop, be it electronic music, or even orchestral pieces, I think it manages to present everything with a lot of detail, dynamics, and a lot of clarity. The bass is really dynamic, it is punchy. The mid-range, except for that lower mid region, has got a lot of energy and liveliness to it. The top end is just right, although I think a few of you would find it to be on the harsher side, but not for me. Now, considering all of these aspects, I think Simgot, the EA500, is a winner, and it is going to be a stiff competitor to any IEM in this price range. That was my take. If you guys would like to try this IEM for yourself, I invite you here to our experience studio in Mumbai. And if you're not from Mumbai, you can catch us at a Headphone Connect event at a city near you. That was it for today. I'll see you in the next one.